When it comes to vehicles, it has to be a pickup truck, no question about it. Right here I have a brand new Hyundai Santa Cruz compact pickup. It's got all-wheel drive, it's got turbocharged power, and it can do and go about anywhere. Right, Nathan?
No, you're totally wrong. And not only that, but what you really want is something that is more affordable and more comfortable for your family, because let's face it, most of you people will not use a small pickup truck bed. And I have the vehicle here, which is this vehicle's cousin, and that's 2022 Hyundai Tucson. By the way, this is the N-Line version.
Okay, so how do we figure out which one is better? How about we go up Tombstone Hill?
Yes! Kind of.
Tombstone Hill is a very steep and loose uphill climb. It has two parts, truth or dare. Truth you can see directly behind me, and it's got some articulation, and I think it'll be plenty difficult for these two, the Tucson and the Santa Cruz. There's also dare. That's really rocky. I don't know if we have enough clearance, but we're gonna attack this mountain and see which one does better.
Hey guys, as you know, it is that time of year, the time of year where we start selling some of our long-term test fleet. And to do that, we've brought our old auction site back from the dead. TFLBids.com is back. And this week we're going to be selling not only our Suburban that we use for the Go Big video series, but also a pretty cool and pretty rare Kia Sorento. First generation, unknown off-roader that will surprise you. So go check out TFLBids.com and get yourself a beautiful Suburban at no reserve, or a first generation Sorento. More trucks to come on TFL Bids.
We love to do minor off-roading with crossovers, and that's basically what I'm considering the Santa Cruz. It's a crossover pickup. And it has a lot of components that are shared with this, the Tucson. And I really like the Tucson. I just think that the new design is really cool and that it's a smart vehicle and it's not very expensive. But there are numbers that are out there that are actually very different between the two of them. So they're not exactly the same, and it's not simply cutting something and adding a bed. There's a lot more to it. So, for instance, this one has 19-inch wheels because it's the special N model. The Santa Cruz has 18-inch wheels. This one has 8.3 inches of ground clearance. Santa Cruz has 8.6 inches of ground clearance. By the way, neither one is particularly good, especially when it comes to going towards objects, because their approach angles are miserable. They're not built for heavy-duty off-roading. But there's more. This vehicle is about 10 inches shorter when it comes to wheelbase. And overall length, come over here. This thing, because of all the stuff that's in the back, has 13 inches plus added to it. As such, its overall length is a great deal longer than the Tucson.
But Nathan, do you know why I'm so happy we're comparing these two?
Might have something to do with that turbo sign under your hood?
Well, partially. Underneath the hood of the Santa Cruz, this is a top-of-the-line premium powertrain. 2.5 liters of turbocharged goodness, 281 horsepower here, and lots of torque. And it also has a dual-clutch transmission, which we have shown in the past is not great for off-road, which is why I want to know how yours performs.
See, mine has the regular 8-speed automatic, which I think all agree won't overheat as easily as the dual clutch will. Unfortunately, I also have the 187 horsepower 2.5 liter GDI engine, so it's not a turbo. So up here, it's going to struggle a little bit. So while I might have possibly the better transmission for off-roading, light off-roading, I do not have the power to back it up. So I really want to take that engine and put it in here, or take this transmission and put it in here.
That's why we're doing this for science.
It's for science.
Welcome to the Santa Cruz.
Yeah, you know, even though this is TFLs, you and I rarely get a chance to be in this.
Yeah, I haven't put a lot of miles. Actually, Roman's been driving it.
Roman loves it.
And it has about 2,300 miles.
Yeah.
This is our long-term test truck. So I'm gonna go into smart mode.
Now there are, first we should probably explain that. So there's like four modes.
Yes.
There's sport, there's smart, there's snow, and then there was one other.
And normal.
Normal,
just
that's it.
Every day.
Yeah.
So I think Smart needs to help and figure these things out for us. And then the center locker for the all-wheel drive H-track system is just distributes power pretty evenly front and back.
50-50 front and rear, essentially. So between that and the traction control system, it should mitigate wheel spin, which we're having right now.
Yes, and which we're having a lot of. Come on. There it goes.
Now there is another video where Andre and I actually took a Santa Cruz up the other obstacle, and you guys will be able to see that.
Yes.
But this is already very challenging for traction and for some articulation, and so far we are struggling. Andre is staying on the accelerator, but we have to stop at this tree, and that's going to make things difficult.
And you know, also, I'm using almost 100% throttle on some of these.
So we're at the tree.
Okay, it's a tree, so I'm going to pause.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There's every mode.
I don't think I can pull any more buttons, can I? Traction control disabled. How about that?
Try it. Tires. They really matter on a trail like this, and they're not even close. They're very different ones. On the Santa Cruz, these are Kumo Krugens. I honestly don't know what that means. I thought it was some sort of like Irish battle Krugen thing, but it's not. Over here, with the Tucson, very different tire. These are Michelin Primacies, and to me, the tread looks a little bit more aggressive than the one over there on the Santa Cruz. So I'm curious to see how they do on the... No.
Yes, Nathan, that's nice. The tires are a little bit different. What I really want to know is about interior comfort, which is why Jeff is here. He's going to show us the space in the rear seat. Some say that the interior, at least seat and legroom, is the same between these two, but I don't think so. Which is why I positioned the front seat here in the Tucson, comfortable for me at about 6'2", and then let's look at Jeff. First, I can see that the door in the Tucson is much wider, bigger opening. Okay, good. Now, I think Jeff, actually look, he's got legroom, he's reclined, he looks happy. Let's see what the Santa Cruz has to offer. Now for the Santa Cruz, I've positioned the front passenger seat in the same way, 5 clicks from the very furthest back position forward. Same knee room up here. Let's check out the rear seat. Okay, yeah, so the rear door here in the Santa Cruz is not quite as long or wide. And let's see what Jeff has to say about this. Okay, Jeff goes in. Not quite as much legroom, Nathan.
Yeah, and he can't recline either.
Come on, dual clutch.
Dual clutch tends to roll back.
Oh, he did roll back. Oh, did you hear that?
Yep. Throwing up some rocks.
No.
Hope our photographers are going to be safe.
Okay.
Wow.
It's okay though.
No, but it did it. But really, this is near the maximum of this vehicle's capacity. I would recommend for anybody who's going to buy one of these and wants to go into the rough, change the tires. First thing you do.
Definitely. Tires are a huge part of off-road.
Huge part of it, absolutely. Yes. But it did it.
Okay, so the Santa Cruz has a little bit less space in the back seat. However, and this is why I say that little pickups are the best of them all, it's utility. With all-wheel drive and a turbocharged engine like this, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds with a Santa Cruz. The Tucson is around 2,000 pounds. And then you can carry a heck of a lot of stuff in here. And payload is much greater. It's about 1,300 pounds plus here. It's a measly 900 pounds in the Tucson. So this is where it's at.
I do not doubt the fact that you get extra utility from a pickup truck bed, and that's great. For those of you who are interested in a crossover, this one actually has a surprising amount of space. Behind the second row, you have around 44 cubic feet. Lay the seats down, 80 cubic feet of cargo space. That is really good. That's great in class. You have a little bit of extra cargo space down here with the donut, which by the way is easier to access than the one in the Santa Cruz. But there's something else that makes this far superior, especially if you live in snow country. There's not a single pickup truck that I know of that has a windshield wiper that can actually take care of the rear glass. That's right, you're forced to go and by hand wipe your rear glass. That's all I got.
I have a question before we start.
Yeah.
Did you know that they have an XRT, like off-roady Tucson?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they have its cousin, the Sorento, which is basically a very similar platform. They have the off-roady version of that. But you know what it has that this doesn't have?
What?
Better tires. That's basically it. I mean, suspension's pretty much the same and all that.
So same modes?
Same modes. There we go. That's locked. Speaking of which, I'm going to go to, you were in Smart?
Yeah, I was Smart.
I'm in Smart mode.
Okay.
And I think that's just about it. Okay, up the hill we go.
Okay, so let's see how it'll behave.
So the foot's all the way down. Ooh, didn't like that at all.
Well, it was proximity warning came on.
Okay, so I'm already losing some traction, but I'm moving. I'm a heavier foot than Andre, as you guys I'm sure know. So I am going to be a little bit more savage with this. Also remember, I have a lot less horsepower. Like a lot less.
Yeah, but let's see the final test. So that the first section was comparable to the Santa Cruz.
Give or take.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now the hard part is here.
Yeah, so I fully stopped on this hill.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to accelerate, and we're going to... I should probably shut off traction control. That's what you did too, right?
Yeah, it's on the other side.
There we go.
Okay, there.
There are extraordinary differences between the two of these when it comes to sheet metal, because not a single piece of sheet metal is shared between these two vehicles, despite what everybody's been saying. That's including the grille, which by the way is blacked out on the N version. It's a special thing, and over here is kind of a chromey thing, but they're different sizes. The headlights are slightly different in design and much larger on the Santa Cruz. Even the hoods are different. All the sheet metal is different. Take a really close look and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Traction and stability control are gone. So if we go careening off the hill, it's my fault, not the car's.
Okay.
Here we go.
Are you gonna roll back? No, you did not roll back.
No, because I have an automatic transmission, not a dual clutch. However, almost lost it there.
Okay.
You smell the burning rubber, so it had a problem. I'm gonna need to hit this with a tiny bit more momentum.
Okay, well, it is a really loose surface.
It is extremely loose. I thought these tires would be superior to the other ones, but those Kumos are actually seem like they're better.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's try this.
There we go. There it is. A little acceleration helps.
I want to point out that you took a couple of approaches, and I did not take a couple of approaches.
Yeah, but you also have less than a quarter of an inch more ground clearance than I do. Although you do have a longer wheelbase as such, it kind of offsets it.
I smell some burning rubber or something.
That's the tires.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hey, going around this tree, by the way,
Yes.
a lot easier in this shorter wheelbase.
Alrighty.
Look, I love the Santa Cruz. I do. But for those people who don't need a pickup bed and want more interior utility, this thing is really good. By the way, on the road, super quiet, great handling. Really, the only issue is the fact that I think that the engine's a little anemic. And that's it. Everything else is great.
Well, you don't have the turbos, and this is high elevation here.
Both those things really do hurt it.
Finally, we have to talk about price.
Yes. So my vehicle, as equipped, now bear in mind that is with the N, so it's sort of a mid-level vehicle. Okay, so it's right in the middle. $34,000 basically.
Well, mine is an SEL, so it has a little bit more equipment than a base Santa Cruz.
Plus the bigger engine.
Yes, the recharge engine, all-wheel drive, all those goodies. About $37,000. But you can have them at the same price.
Right, so you can get a much more premium version of this and a lesser version of that and really get the price close. So the point is, you can have either for really the mid-30s.
Yep, and guys, you can find a lot more videos and stories at alltfl.com. This is a one place, one-stop shop for everything TFL.
See you next time.